Hello and welcome to PHNX Bets Daily. Goodness, it's a Wednesday. What are we going to talk about? I, of course, am your co-host Johnny Venerable, joined by my good friend that's not Shane. It's
It's not
Jacob
Shane.
Franklin. Good
Yeah,
afternoon,
Shane. We,
Jacob.
we
How
we
are you?
gave Shane another day off. It's just like I don't really get where he goes and
He just
does,
wanders
but
around
he just kind
aimlessly.
of wanders. He tells me that he goes on a hike every once in a while.
We
Um,
do give our employees here at PHNX ample time off,
right,
especially
as you
when
should.
we are struggling with our bets, and that's I think what's happening with Shane right now.
Yeah, he's kind of wandering in the desert. If you see like a 6'1", I don't know how tall is Shane's 6'4". He's a lot taller than I
I
thought.
was about to say I'm
Um,
5'6", and he's like two of me.
he's quite tall. If you see, hey, Shane's in the comments. If you see a 6'4" man wandering through the Arizona desert, he's got a mustache actually, might be wearing some printed shirt. Make sure he's okay. Just make sure he's okay.
Where are blink twice, Shane, in the chat if you're okay. 6'1", are you serious? That's what he just
Shane,
put
yeah,
up in the
no,
chat.
sorry. That's my bad. I'm quite tall. I'm quite tall, so I'm really bad at judging how tall people are in comparison to me.
That must be nice. Must be a nice problem to have. You know what's not a nice problem to have? Going over on your bets over the course of the weekend, which is something I did. But here at PHNX Bets Daily, we go live every day, noon, Monday through Friday,
Presented by
in
DraftKings, of
part
course.
via DraftKings, promo code PHNX. In part, we do that so we can keep grinding and find the bets that we do like. And today is a college football Wednesday with Jacob and I, and we've
It is.
got some tasty nuggets on deck for college football Saturday. Not a ton of marquee games this Saturday, Jacob, but a couple that we do like. Why don't you share with the fine folks watching us live on the YouTube what you're thinking on Saturday?
Yeah, so I was taking a look over some of the lines that DraftKings has provided us with this weekend. Something that caught my eye is Texas A&M is a 7-point favorite. They're -7 over Mississippi State. So
Okay.
I thought that was really interesting. Texas A&M is 3-1 on the year. Their only loss is to Arkansas, top 10 team on the road. They only lost by 10. Mississippi State 2-2. Their record's not as great. Haven't looked as good. I actually think that Texas A&M is going to win this one pretty handedly. I don't think that Mississippi State's going to give them as much of a challenge as you might think.
Okay.
I know that Texas A&M struggled against Colorado. That didn't look too great, but they were in the Mile High Stadium in Denver. That's a tough place to go win, especially because it was technically a neutral site, right? Because they didn't play in Boulder, they played at Mile High. But
Mm-hmm.
but I really like Texas A&M in this game. And the other game that I wanted to look at is USC is -7.5 over Colorado on the road.
Wow.
So we have a little bit of a tie-in in here. Colorado, like I just said, just narrowly lost to Texas A&M. DNVR, shield your eyes because Colorado, they are the underdogs in this game. They didn't look good against Arizona State. Shane, I appreciate the spelling of my name there. But USC just got pummeled
Yeah.
at home by Oregon State. Their head coaching situation is a complete mess. So you're going to tell me that they're a 7.5 point favorite
Yeah.
on the road?
I think
I'm
there's
not
a good
buying it.
chance. Yeah, I think that there's a good chance that USC is thrown in the towel here in late September,
Yeah,
early October.
yeah. They let Clay Helton go. They played some inspired football for a week, but I think we saw their true colors last week when they and don't get me wrong, Oregon State's always kind of that team that loves to play, their role in beating random teams, but
Yeah.
that's not a good loss. And Colorado's not good either, but I'm not buying the 7.5 point favorite there.
USC has like 6-4, 5-6, end of the year finish in the Panera Bread Bowl written all over them, where they kind of just sleepwalk to the finish line. And yeah, somebody's
I
anointed
agree.
as the new head coach here in November or December, and they can try to kickstart their rebuild this upcoming winter and spring. But yeah, I'm with you. I wouldn't put any money on the Trojans moving forward. The only thing that we telegraphed was the week after they fired Clay Helton, they would play inspired football, and they did. So
Did
wouldn't touch them. Agree with
It's
you.
there.
I
It's
like
gone.
that play.
Yeah, it's there. It's gone. What do you got, Johnny?
Yeah, I like two different Big Ten bets this week, and my Big Ten homerism is definitely showing. Let's start first with the Iowa Hawkeyes, who are a mere 3-point favorite at Maryland. This is maybe Kirk Ferentz's best team in recent memory. I think people are over exaggerating to a mere 10-point win over Colorado State last week. Kirk Ferentz is incredibly formidable within Big Ten play. They rolled against Indiana. They rolled the rival Iowa State 27-17. I think next week will be the big test against Penn State, and I think they'll want to come out and solidify themselves as a major player in the Big Ten. And look out, if they win this week and next week, I do think they have an opportunity to run the table en route to the Big Ten title game. Where who knows, they could be playing. They could be playing one Ohio State, or they could be playing my other team that I think is going to have a big weekend, and that's the Michigan Wolverines. This is sneaky Jim Harbaugh's probably best team to date, most under the radar team to date, 4-0. They're 14th in the country. They are a 2.5-point dog at Wisconsin. Wisconsin, they just got shellacked last week. I'm not a buyer in Wisconsin at all. I like Michigan to cover and win outright. So plus 110 is the money line.
Tasty.
Yeah, listen, I've been burned by betting on Harbaugh in the past. It's not something I like to do often, but I just think that, they rolled early in the season against, I think, a good Washington program. Wisconsin likes to do a lot of the same things that Michigan does. They're stout in the trenches. They want to run the ball. I just think Michigan has a better version of that. Now, later in the season, if a team like Ohio State or Penn State spreads them out, or even Michigan State, that's where the problems could arise. But I think Michigan moves to 5-0 this week. And it's been a sneaky under the radar year for Jim Harbaugh and his Wolverines.
Yeah, those Big Ten games for me are always kind of tough to look at because a lot of those teams do love to run the football. It is ground and pound, chew some clock. Those games are typically really low, so those lines are always a little tighter than some of the other lines you might see. Like if you look at Pac-12 lines, you might find some, like gaudy line.
Yeah.
It is the nature of Big Ten football, but I do agree. I like Iowa there. I think there's a chance that they might be looking ahead to Penn State. There's a chance. There's always a chance in college with that. But I do agree with you. I like Iowa, and I do like Michigan. I'm not high on Wisconsin either.
No. It just seems like a regression year for them. And I'm with you. I think that the gaudy spreads typically come from one team, and that's Ohio State, because they play the most like an SEC team, where everybody else has to kind of do with what they've got, right? They gotta live and die with 2- and 3-star recruits, and that's what Ohio State, and to a lesser extent maybe Penn State, does not have to do. And as a reminder, as Jacob and I do very regularly, you can make all of these bets and more using the DraftKings Sportsbook app, of course, the official betting partner of the NFL. It's live here in Arizona. Listen, you can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the promo code you see on the screen, PHNX, and you're going to receive a free $150 to bet instantly when you place a mere $1 bet on any football game. You can choose these college games we're breaking down. You can talk about any NFL game this Thursday, Sunday, or Monday. One singular dollar nets you $150 free to bet. Now, if you've already partaken in the PHNX promo code, we've had people ask, Jacob, you can't double down. I wish you could. I'd be the first person to do it.
I know. I was going to say, can I get free money?
You cannot. But there'll be some tasty promos throughout the duration of the season that we can partake in. Actually, if you're on the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, you can click on the promotions section and find out what you are eligible for even after you use PHNX. But of course, plus 21 Arizona only, gambling problem, call 1-800-NEXT-STEPS. New customers only, got to do the minimum $5 deposit, $1 wager required, as we just mentioned. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. And Jacob, I want to transition from there to another steal of a deal. I think you know where I'm going with this.
Are you talking about us?
Have you checked out GoPHNX.com lately?
I have. There's a lot of really good stuff on our website. We always have the one and only Johnny dropping some Cardinals articles every week. Provides the best coverage. I don't know if I could find somebody better.
I appreciate
We've got
that.
Craig Morgan for Coyotes, Gerald Bourguet for Suns. We have content coming at you from all angles. Shane himself is on the ASU beat with Brittany Boyer. Those two are a tandem to fear. They're really good. There's just content every day. That's
Yeah,
just, it
it's
seems like the deal, it honestly is probably the best deal that you'll find in the country.
Yep, and more on that specific deal. Listen, right now, if you join PHNX.com, go PHNX.com, try it out on the monthly basis, right? First month only is 50 cents, feeling the waters a little bit. If you like it from there, $8.99 per month. You get access to the PHNX Social Lounge Discord, all of our premium content, of course, my articles as well as my many talented peers. Or if you're feeling advantageous, if you're feeling
Little
frisky,
annual membership.
$59.88 is going to save you a couple dollars. You're going to get, in addition with that, a free t-shirt from the PHNX locker. And speaking of t-shirts, Jacob, right now for the second consecutive week, if you head on over to our members deal of the week, 20% off all Arizona Cardinal shirts. Boom. I'm waiting for mine. It's going to come in the mail. I'm going to rock it on all of our live streams and podcasts.
You have to.
Yes. So partake in that deal of the week. What you can do if you sign up today for gophnx.com, you're going to get a free t-shirt if you sign up for the year-round membership. Then you can also double down and get 20% off another t-shirt.
Man.
I mean, you can just stock your closet with PHNX gear and you'll be in good shape.
You could go 2 for 2 on Cardinals shirts too.
You could.
There.
You could get both Cardinal
get
shirts.
a free Cardinal shirt.
Yeah.
And stock up on the other Cardinal shirt. It just
there are two with many more coming.
That is a win-win.
And let us know what you want to see and what you want to rock. And speaking of rocking with some future frequent flyers, Jacob, what do you like not only this weekend, but moving forward in the college football landscape? Give us a tasty nugget that maybe our viewers should eye long term.
I might be biased, but I wanted to drop a little tasty nugget for ASU fans out there. They are 3.5 point underdogs. They're plus 3.5 on the road at UCLA. Their only loss this year comes to the 13th team in the country. BYU beat them by 10, but you might be talking about a completely different game if Merlin Robinson didn't, if he had hung on to the football. He was headed back for a pick six. They were about to take a 24 to 20 lead, and he dropped the football. You might be talking about a 4-0 team that's a top 15 team in the country, but their only loss is there, and they're not ranked. They're on the road at UCLA. UCLA looks good. They're number 20 right now in the AP poll. The quarterback, DTR, he is banged up this week.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking there might be a tasty little flyer in there if you put some money down on ASU. Like I said, I might be biased, but
we show our bias in here. Look at my background. Look at the team that I covered.
So. Yeah. Look at Shane. Look at Shane. ASU money line is a juicy lock.
I would agree with that. I'll tell you what I'm also looking at as a frequent flyer down the road. I've always got one eye geared toward the college football playoff, the Final Four, if you will. And, we've seen some teams maybe be eliminated early on. We've got Clemson with 2 losses suddenly. They're plus 550. I don't like that at all because I don't think a 2-loss ACC champion should get in the Final Four. I'll tell you what I do like. Notre Dame, a team that's been to the Final Four before with this same head coach, the same program with Brian Kelly, they're plus 600. Looking at their schedule now, they're 4-0. Yes, they had a close loss to Toledo. Throwaway game. They had a close loss to a competent Florida State team, or at the time they were competent, but they just shellacked Wisconsin. I think they're going to start playing their best football here on out. They face, Jacob, one ranked team the rest of the year. That's number 7, Cincinnati. If they run the table and go 12-0, which I think is distinctly possible, I think they'll get in for sure. And even if they lose a game, let's say they lose maybe to North Carolina, maybe they're at Virginia Tech and they lose, I think there's still a better than good chance that an 11-1 Notre Dame team that's top 10 in the country gets in over certainly a 2-loss ACC champion. Plus 600 right now. For those of you who don't know, if you were to bet $100 on them to make the Final Four, you would pay out $600 plus your additional $100 that you bet. So that's a $700 payout, $600 profit. Just saying.
You're trying to make these people some money, Johnny.
I'm trying. I'm begging with you. Please pop on over to DraftKings Sportsbook app. We just recorded some nifty walkthroughs that are going to be participating on the Go PHNX site. Myself and Shane on how to determine money lines and spreads. If you're new to this gambling scene, we're going to walk you through it comfortably and confidently so we can all have a prosperous and productive college football and NFL season.
You love to see it. Yeah, no, I'm excited to see those. Obviously, they're for the people that don't really understand what it is to, get on
We're here
their
to help
app and
you.
talk about props and parlays and same game parlays and all that good stuff. So I'm looking forward to those, Johnny.
Jacob, it has been a distinct honor and privilege to host today's show with you, my friend. I will see
Appreciate
you
it.
later on this week. It looks like
Yep.
maybe Shane and I will be back tomorrow if Shane is allowed back in the building. We will see. But for those of you, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.